When is it okay for a woman to cheat? When, if ever, is it ever okay to accept a woman back who cheats on you? Interesting. But coming up today,
loneliness.
Remember ever being like, oh, I'm so lonely, I hate it here.
No, I don't eat swine.
I cheated on my husband in 14 years.
You know, it's sickening.
Ew.
I hope you're focused and on your square. It's a lot of waffle, but does it make sense?
You think the grass is going to be greener on the other side. And then you go back to something that you dated when you were younger and you kind of realize, again, like you said, that person's mindset didn't necessarily grow over time. Things happen in your life that make you change a little. Things happen in that person's life that makes them change a little more. This time frame has passed, and now the things that have occurred during that time frame have changed the two of you in a certain way. And now you go back into the situation and you guys don't connect as much as you think. Okay, that situation could have worked out, but because of the time that has passed, you guys are not the same, and you think it's going to work out, but it doesn't necessarily happen that way. Now I'm a person that doesn't care for toxicity. I used to be a person that loved it because it was fun. I was young. I didn't have a bigger plan for my future, but now that I'm back with you, the toxicity won't work for me. So therefore, this relationship can't work.
Interesting. A typical common story. She liked her bad boy toxic men when she was younger, but then she got older. Yeah, and realized how stupid it was, how unproductive it was.
No, I can fix it.
You can say her frontal lobe developed, whatever.
I see now where the path of vice leads.
And now she can see clearly. Yeah, interesting. But the point is, because it's so common, because so many women do this, ruin their value and their track record, it does make you wonder, were these women even intelligent enough to have picked better to begin with? Damn right! A lot of women deliberately lower their value, and then they blame men for not wanting a woman with too much baggage. Daddy! And that's why you can never treat a woman better than her level.
Why?
If her level has been toxic dudes, many of her boyfriends are the same type of dude, that's her level. Doesn't matter how much she's changed. Nope. That's still going to be her level.
The toxicity won't work for me. So therefore, this relationship can't work.
This was one of the things Alan told me, which I thought was like so great, and I've been running with it ever since, right? And this is my take on my analogy on dating an ex, right? So there's an old story where there was a woman who wanted a pig. Okay, this woman wanted a pig, and she was a very rich, wealthy woman. She got the pig, she got the baby pig, and she dressed it up in all designer. She put diamonds on it, diamond necklace, everything. She made the pig everything that she wanted, right? And then as she, had the pig, one day it started to rain, right? And she got caught in the rain. And the pig almost broke her arm to jump out of her arms so it could run in mud. At the end of the day, the pig is still going to be a pig. It does not matter what you want it to be. It does not matter what you want to dress it up as the same goes and the same rules applies as people. That person is what they are, and it's important to accept what they are.
Exactly, like I've just said. Now, he's talking about toxic people, the toxic men in these women's cases. But this applies to women as well. This is why it's bad for men to try to save women. To this day! Say she's the pig in this analogy. You rescue her from all her toxic exes and her past and all that BS, whatever.
Jesus, God save me.
Focus.
Save her from her baggage, her debts, help her with her kids, whatever. At the end of the day, she's still a pig. She will still jump out of your arms and roll in the mud with a toxic ex. Because like a chick in the street, you can take a pig out the farm. Still a pig, isn't it?
No, I don't eat swine.
Which is most likely, not all the time, but it's most likely the case that they are an ex and not a current.
It seems like, oh, people are who they are. Like the pig is who they are. Accept the pig or don't accept the pig. How about we blame the woman for being foolish enough to believe that she could
pig could wear Gucci?
No, that's what I'm blaming.
Okay.
Not just the woman, but that woman in an analogy.
Yes.
I'm blaming the person to not understand that you can't make anybody be what you want them to be.
Right.
I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much power you have. I don't care how much popularity you have. You can't make somebody be what you want them to be. You could date a girl, you could be a guy, you could date this girl because she's beautiful, but guess what? She's not a wife. And you can't make her be a wife. You're a woman, you're dating this guy, right? And he's just an asshole. And you want a gentleman. He can't be a gentleman.
I'm an animal.
That's a very good point, and I find it hilarious. When women want to change a certain type of guy that she's attracted to a different type of guy. Gentleman. That's bullshit. That doesn't make sense. But again, same for a man trying to save a woman from a life that she's used to. Even if she knows it's bad, it's what she's used to. A willing woman trumps everything. You could tell her the mud is dirty. It doesn't matter. Her want for it outweighs her rationality.
Just like a woman.
And damn, these points have got these women very defensive.
You got to understand that instead of trying to mold and change people and give people every reason to change, you just got to give yourself every reason to move on. If I had to take a poll, right? And this is just an educated guess stat. I would say 80% of people who left their ex and double back to their ex is because they thought that they can qualify for something bigger or better, and they don't. And so they realize that what they thought their market value was and what they thought they could obtain, they can't. So now they're trying to go back to where they technically belong. But like you said before, that doesn't mean that person is going to accept you back, especially if your ex has now climbed the charts and now they're above where you met them and you're still at the same spot where you left them. I think it's important if you're going to leave somebody, you need to make sure that you understand that you're going to come back. If you ever decide to revisit, you have to be a better version of you.
But how often do women leave men, cheat on men? They realize the grass was never greener. The grass was never greener. Man just love bombed the hell out of her. Well, these men love bombed her, and then she wants to come back. The I miss you text. Get that shit out of here. Oh, you can f off with that. No, she doesn't miss you. She missed what you did for her, how much you cared for her, and she hopes you're dumb enough to take her back after she's been getting ran through by how many other dudes? Thousands of them.
You have to be a more established version of yourself. You have to be a more, equipped, whether it be assets and or wisdom, knowledge, whatever it may be. You have to have more attributes than you actually left with when you try to double back. If you try to double back and even if you're making more money, but you're still the same person, you're still the same person. You know what I'm saying? So those are just my tips.
Unless money was the issue, which for the case of marriage and divorce, they say that that's the number one reason why people separate.
I want to go back and I want to tie both of your points together when you were referring to, men being able to step out of their relationship because he is the sole provider or whatever the case may be. Historically, that was the norm, right? And I want to tie that into what's happening right now in terms of doubling back, right? Some people double back after the infidelity has happened in the original relationship. You know why? Because it takes an actual conscious, aware person to understand that being unfaithful does not mean you're being disloyal.
Okay, that's an interesting point, and he's going to break it down in a bit. Now, even though he's going to have good points, I disagree. And this is why I call a lot of relationships fake, because they're not real relationships. They're just people together. And it's why I remind people, never be jealous of other people, this couple, this relationship, because you have no idea what they're doing or what they've done to be together. Regardless of the points he's going to make, if you're with someone and it's just you and that person and they cheat on you, yeah, that's disloyal as well. Because I don't know how you can f somebody else and tell me that's loyal. Nah, it ain't.
If I'm still doing everything that I was doing for you, okay? If I come home and I make you happy, if I take care of home, I take care of kids, I do everything, I'm the workhorse, but you caught me stepping outside, that doesn't mean I was disloyal. That means I was unfaithful.
I agree.
I still never stopped doing the things that I promised to provide for us, and I still never stopped making you unhappy. Granted, if you are doing, stepping out because there is an unhappiness, that's way different.
I'm just go on a tangent a little bit. Sorry.
I love it.
But
thought-provoking.
Now, when you're with a woman, right? She's doing a lot of things to bring when you're with a woman that you love, obviously she's bringing a lot of things to the table that you obviously need and desire. So if she steps out on you, you once said that you won't take that woman back. Why?
Not what I've ever said. Actually, in fact, I love correcting people. In fact, the way I actually got my job at 8 at the table, the way I got my job at 8 at the table was saying that if I was doing it, especially if I was doing it as well, I got to charge it to the game. And I realized that life, first of all, I stepped out in other relationships. So if I'm in a good relationship, and most men are probably going to deny it, but I realize that most men are just going to deny it to themselves. If you're in a good relationship with a woman and she steps out on you and she was still doing everything that she needed to do, granted, it depends on how she steps out. If she built the relationship, that's one thing. We're talking about like maybe a girl's trip. She around with Drake. I'm going to be mad.
Yeah, she's done. Didn't matter if it was Drake or a regular dude. Yeah, she's done. Again, he's going to rationalize some BS. This is him. Like he's saying he's a cheater himself, so he understands women cheating. Now, I get it. A lot of men do cheat. But if you're a faithful dude and you hope your woman's faithful and she cheats, nah, she can go back and go f Drake again.
I think I do remember you saying, okay.
I'm gonna be like, yo, I gotta charge it to the game. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens. You know what I'm saying? But if you go out and you go get a Pico and not a Rico, then we have an issue. Like, you're not gonna go below this. Like, I know you're just desperate. Okay. But that was just to clarify.
But back to your point though. about the loyalty, disloyalty, unfaithfulness. So that is so key. When I work with my clients, I ask them, what do you want? Like the notebook, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And many times people use this term of, I want someone who's loyal. And that's not the word that they actually, I'm like, let's Google it. Like, are we sure that the words that you are using and the attributes that you're looking for is actually descriptive of what you want? And that's exactly it. Like, no, I want someone who's faithful. Okay, so then that's a different animal. So I agree with you 100% in that regard. Back to you.
You see, all this mix-up nonsense is why I'm so content being single. A lot of this stuff is bollocks. This is absolute BS and bollocks. You see, this is something about modern dating that I think should be addressed a lot more. A lot of people are not dating on the same level. A lot of people do not want the same things. Because a lot of the stuff on this panel is absolute nonsense. But then again, that's me. Because I don't want to be in mess just to be with someone. Trash already, trash. And that's what a lot of modern dating is. To be messy just to be with someone, to be in some fucking nastiness, some weird situation with this person just to be with them.
Yeah, well, at least I have someone to go home to.
No, you can fuck off with that. You can have that. All you dudes, you can have them. They're all yours. You waste your time, your valuable time with a human being. For them to want to fuck somebody else if they want to, they can. But this is my perspective, because I believe a woman that cheats on you, she's not only unfaithful, she's disloyal as well. And I get it, everyone doesn't see it that way. I do. Do not care. People are dating at different levels from different levels. It's another reason why modern dating is full of so much crap.
To your comment, though, of how many times are we going to accept the unfaithfulness? Like, what are the circumstances? Like you said, the Drake versus the Pico. Like, what are the circumstances that are...
And who the hell wants a chick back after she's been with Drake? Really? Really? That dude? Please.
I want to use that word, but
It
right?
is what it is,
like
yeah.
acceptable. And then also in your case, you said charge it to the game if you were doing dirt, if you weren't doing the dirt.
No, I'm talking about even previously.
Yeah, in the
I've already did my. Listen, karma is coming. I don't know how she's coming, but if it coming, like, well, I guess this is what I deserve. This is what happens.
So you just want to just deal with it.
I know what I was. Listen, I know everything that I did in my life. It wasn't the most reasonable, right? But you see the foot tap.
I do think that disloyalty and unfaithfulness can go hand in hand, though, because you're unfaithful, but still be loyal to me. Like, I understand what Rico was saying, like, he's still doing all of these things, but what are you telling this side bitch? Like, what are you telling this girl that you're cheating? Are you saying, like, my wife at home is a piece of shit, like, oh, she's so annoying, blah, blah, blah? You're disloyal.
Yes.
But if you be like, I'm you, but I love my wife, like, I'm not leaving her. This is not like we're not going to be in a relationship. Like, I love her. I'm going back.
Do you know what I love about these topics? Like, as a man, there are times in my life where I felt sort of guilty that I'm like, using women. Like I'm not really being honest with her. I'm just using her for sex, basically.
Shrimp tacos. Spicy.
This is why I love these topics. These topics make me rethink, should I feel guilty? Should I? A lot of things are normalized to a lot of people. A lot of things are very common to a lot of people, but not to everyone. So whereas you may be a person who you're not with this bullshit, you're not with this, oh, go f who you want, but come back to me sort of nonsense. Yeah, if you're not with that, you don't fit this criteria of dating with certain people. This is why I think a lot of people are content being single. Because to be connected with a lot of people, you're connected to this bullshit. An acceptance of being unfaithful. I'm going to accept you cheating on me so long as you come back to me. What sort of man is taking a woman back who's cheating on him, who has cheated on him, who's constantly cheating on him? That does not sound like a strong man. It sounds like a weak man. It sounds like a cucked man. But on the flip side, why are women shocked to know that so many men have so many side pieces? Why would they be shocked? Why would she be shocked to be a side piece? Look at what this woman just said.
You're unfaithful, but still be loyal to me.
She's okay with it. Oh, so long as he, doesn't talk crap about her. Yeah? So the types of men that date this woman, you can go f over bitches. Just make sure when you come back to her, you just, I didn't say bad about you. But my God, as a man, how much respect would you even have for this woman?
None.
Please.
Relationship, like, I love her. I'm going back. That is
I can't.
How you talk about
That's me right there.
How you talk about me behind my back is you being loyal to me. So I feel like that goes.
And they love it. They love it. Women love that. It's sickening.
Ew.
Women love.
And
thank you.
It's sickening.
Ew. Wait.
Yo, listen. We about to mess
I'll be loyal.
We about to mess around, but I'm telling you right now, I love my girl. Do not f my shit up. Some women would be like, wow.
Don't even talk
I
about
want that.
Yes.
I want that too.
Yeah,
like, no matter
right
what.
now, but don't be talking shit about my girl.
No, yeah. What? I will fight you. Like,
Oh,
yo,
yeah,
we
like,
can fuck.
we
You
can
better
fight
not talk
right
shit about
now.
my wife. Like, but women love that because at the end of the day, this is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I could be in my own space.
And that's what we have to marry, guys. That's what we have. That's what like somebody that's gonna tell me like I'm gonna cheat on you.
Women like that because of what I said in my previous video. She wants to be the baddest chick, the baddest bee, to one up this other woman. Again, a lot of the times it's not even about the man per se. It's about the position that woman's in. So of course women would like a man defending his girlfriend, though he's f***ing her. He's making love, so I gotta stop swearing, man. Though he's sleeping with her. Of course, in the back of her mind, she wants that same position. Now, if as a man you understand this, you can use this to manipulate women and play women off each other.
Disgusting.
Yeah, and this is why in reverse, sometimes it is easy to cheat on a lot of women.
But well, I had your back.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying this is what we should want, but I'm just trying to
like it.
It's the
let
reality.
them know how
I'd rather be alone.
loyalty.
You know how many?
I
Exactly.
would rather be alone.
You know,
Exactly. The f would you want to be in that messy crap? Why would you want to be in that? Why would you even look for that? Why would you go out into the dating pool and look for someone who's going to be f***ing other people, but so long as they come back to you? That's weird.
You wouldn't rather be alone. You'd rather be lied to. See, that's the thing. There's so much infidelity. And, you know, for a long time, even here at the table, I fought to not say normalize infidelity, normalizing the act of cheating. But guess what? It is more normal than it is unnormal. And we need to start to embrace it. And there's some people who need to actually be like, yo, you know what? Cheating on me isn't a full deal breaker.
Comment, is cheating on you a deal breaker? Obviously, you know my answer. Is it for you though? Because I do not understand this perspective. But then again, if it makes sense for some, carry on.
Depending on how many times it happens.
Okay, fine.
No, but if
said
you
that
that
and I got
loyal to me,
cursed.
don't let me find out.
Okay,
So
fine.
you said that what?
Literally, it was reposted today where I said that. I said that on a podcast before that I said, I am married, right? I am legally married to my husband. And if he cheated on me one time, and again, depending on the circumstances, that I might not necessarily divorce him. And the thing is that most women, and I would even say people, would say the same thing, but they don't want to say it aloud because it's awkward or it's embarrassing. A lot of folks.
Interesting point. Marriage, when marriage is in the equation. But then again, that makes the cheating even worse because you committed to this person for the rest of your life, supposedly. But if a married couple can work things out, okay. Good luck. You can understand why they try to work things out because of the commitment, the heavy commitment. It's like why even get committed in the first place if you're going to somebody else, but whatever. Have a look at this before we continue.
I cheated on my husband in 14 years and lost him forever.
Good.
This is long, but it's something I need to get off my chest. My husband, 36 male, and I, 36 female, have been together for 16 years and married for 14. We have 2 daughters who are 13 and 12. About 3 months ago, I cheated on him with my coworker once, and I immediately regretted it.
Yeah, I divorced her ass as well. 14 years, 2 kids.
Ew.
I cheated on my husband in 14 years.
You want to f a co-worker? Carry on.
To be honest, I still haven't figured out the real reason why I cheated. On the surface, the reason would be that my husband was too caught up with work for a couple of months, and I felt neglected and unappreciated at times. I know that this isn't the real reason.
I'm so sick of that common answer.
Too caught up with work.
He was busy at work.
I'm so lonely.
Oh my God. On one hand, you can understand why a lot of women love a broke, dusty dude.
Dusty.
He's got no job to go to.
Work.
He's always going to be there.
Bro.
Yeah. Some men nowadays, all you need to provide is dick. That's literally it.
So I'm trying to figure it out through individual counseling. I only cheated on him that one time and immediately told him the next day because I couldn't bottle up my guilt and shame. He was shocked at first, but then went on to call me the most horrid names.
Deserve it.
I deserved it. I deserved it a lot more than that. I don't even know how it got to the point of me sleeping with my coworker. It started with innocent flirting, and before I knew it, I made the worst mistake of my life by sleeping with him. I wish I'd gotten hit by a car the day before sleeping with him. I cut off all contact with my coworker and gave up my phone to my husband. I wanted to reassure him that I was willing to make this work on his terms.
Yep, damage done. It's too late, the damage is done. Not that I don't understand married men that may take their wife back, but for some people, that level of hurt, there's no coming back from that. You can never look at that person the same way again. So the question again is, would you take a woman back who's cheated on you? And if it's happened before, what did you do? Did you take her back?
Whatever they were, as long as he would give me another chance. Even though in my heart, I knew that I wanted another chance to prove myself, I told him that I would understand if he went through with a divorce. Anyways, I told my husband that I would do anything to regain his trust and express my sorrow and regret for having hurt him so much. My husband has always been the type of guy to give a person only one chance. even in his friendships. If the trust had been broken, he wouldn't give the other person another chance.
Yeah.
He said that he wanted a divorce, but then the whole quarantine thing happened and he stayed in the house for about 2 months and didn't proceed with the divorce. For the first month, he treated me very coldly, and the only time we talked was when it had to do with our daughters. I slept on the couch and tried to give him as much space as he needed, and only reminded him from time to time that if he ever wanted to work things out, I'd be more than willing to, and would be completely devoted to the process of him working things out. He even said some spiteful things during that month and distanced himself from me completely. During the second month, there was a change as he began talking to me again. We talked about the daily stuff and even watched movies together with the girls as a family. I felt like he wanted to try reconciling, and I was so happy. I was thrilled that there might be some chance to save my family, to save us. Eventually, through the next couple of days, I could sense us becoming friends all over again. He even invited me to sleep on the bed again. Oh, Jesus Christ. A betrayed spouse sent this story to me and told me that it was a proper atonement. Okay, so bear with me. Bear with me. A couple of weeks passed by, and we were getting along even better than ever. We were spending time as a family again and had gotten closer with each other as well. I felt really good about the way things were going, but I wish I'd suggested marriage counseling. I just didn't want to pressure him and have him think that I wanted to sweep this situation under the rug, or I was trying to influence him to not divorce me. One night, we were drinking a bit, just talking in the bedroom, and I felt a genuine connection rebuilding. It felt like we were falling for each other all over again, and it made me so happy.
Oh, you wish. Oh, you wish, woman. For as strong as men are, the heartbreak of a man, that lasts forever. I know as men we act all tough and everything, whatever. We are tough as men, to a degree. However, them heartbreaks, that cuts you forever, doesn't it?
This is the part I regret now. I decided to make a move on him and straddled him while we were laughing at a joke. We looked each other in the eyes so naturally. I began making out with him. It honestly felt like we were 20 all over again. He kissed me back as well, but after a while, he just started crying. He told me to stop and said that he couldn't. I felt so awful because I felt like he wanted to, but didn't at the same time. It broke my heart directly to see how badly my stupid decision had hurt him. I told him that I was sorry and we went to sleep. The reason I say I regret doing this is because I feel like this moment pushed him away forever. 2 days later, he informed me that he wanted to go through with the divorce. He said that he just doesn't think he could make it work even after trying for the last 2 months. I wanted to fight with him about it, but I just told him I understood.
Yes, good you understood. It's too late. In that moment there, the man couldn't think of just, getting on with business. Yeah, this is my wife. No. What was going through his mind is her banging that other dude. Oh, but she was banging that other dude. How's he supposed to focus? No action's gonna happen. This man's now traumatized because he may not have visions of this man banging his woman. How's he gonna get turned on by that? Unless he was a cuck, man ain't getting turned on by that. It's gonna make him feel cold and distant. Can you blame him?
We had already decided before that if a divorce was to happen, it would be on fair terms. Sure, we'd both have lawyers and we'd agree on a lot of stuff together. He wanted to take a 2-week trip, but he would come back to pick up the girls after his trip. We both mutually agreed that he'd split the time with his girls after his trip. They would spend half of the week with him and the other half with me. I even helped him pack up his stuff, and we finished. I just bawled my eyes out, and we hugged it out. After his 2-week trip, he came back, and it felt good seeing him again, but I knew it wasn't the same. He just smiled, and we made small talk before he took the girls. We're both really good parents and want the best for our kids. Today, I got served divorce papers. It hurts so much to know that I lost
you got served, woman.
My best friend because I was stupid. You were starved for attention. Okay? Not stupid.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, really? Of course, as a woman, you're going to see her perspective. Oh, she was starved for attention. Notice again the pattern. Oh, he was too busy working. He was too busy. Breathe, fish, breathe. It's always the exact same pattern. Women always have this excuse of, oh, he was too busy working for the home.
Work.
Because she was starved for attention, according to this woman here, it was what? It was okay for her to cheat? It was okay. Again, the way how women understand other women cheating is fascinating. Oh, what did he do? Oh, you cheated as a woman. What did he do? That is absolute bollocks. That is absolute bollocks. To act as if women cheat simply because something's wrong with the man or he's not doing something for her. Really? No, that's cap. I see that as an excuse to do whatever you want to do and find some way to still blame the man. Oh, it's your fault I cheated on you. No, nonsense, nonsense. You can use starve for attention all you want, woman. End of the day, that's just an excuse.
Okay, not stupid. Sometimes I roll over to his side of the bed in the morning and I hate how I don't feel his body there anymore. I miss his smell, his smile, his voice. I miss him filling up the entire room with his loud, adorable laughter. I miss him so much. The thing that hurts me the most is all of this is knowing how badly I hurt the person I love the most. I wish I could go back in time and undo what I did, but I can't. So now, here I am, writing about it on Reddit while crying.
Women will never understand. Even if a man did take you back, he'll never see you the same way again. Never! Some men will take a woman back maybe because they have to for the kids or whatever. He's never going to see you the same way again. And I do not blame him at all. You've shown him who you are. Yeah, you can't unsee that. Like you can't that dude.
When there's nothing that I can do about it. I wish I could let him see I wish I could let him see for himself what I genuinely feel in my heart about how sorry I am and about how I would be the most devoted wife ever if he just gave me another chance.
She should have been the most devoted wife to begin with. She doesn't need a second chance to, whatever.
To let him know how much I love him and that I literally would do anything for him. I fucked up the most perfect thing that ever happened to me. I wish I could get him back but I know that I lost him for.
So, I'm not doing 50-50 with a man because then that means we're roommates. And most of those is doing 50-50. They just don't want to say it aloud because the expectation is that as a woman, these are the standards you should have. And people are lying, and they're lying because of social media. They're lying because of pressures. They're lying because of society. 9 times out of 10, folks are forgiving their wives, even though men will not admit it. And they are forgiving their husbands, even though they don't want to admit it. They are.
Is it that relationship
I'm not forgiving anybody. I'll admit that. I'm not forgiving anybody. I'll always say go back to that person.
get like boring maybe, or there's not enough sex in the relationship? Like, what is it that makes people decide, all right, like, because in that case, why even be in a relationship if that part is just not fulfilling?
I think that there's something that's lacking in the relationship. And I would even venture out to say that it's not even necessarily the quality of sex or the quantity of sex with their actual partner. It's not even that. I think sometimes people don't feel seen. They don't feel appreciated. It's the attention that this new person offers. A lot of times, especially if you speak to women, they don't even intend on the sexual act. They don't even intend, they don't even care about actually having sex with this outside person. It's the phone calls. It's the text messages.
Yeah, the flirting. Isn't that what the previous wife said?
Sleeping with my coworker, it started with
innocent flirting.
Isn't that what that wife in the previous video just said? It was just a little bit of flirting. Then we ended up banging. It always starts off light, doesn't it?
It's the compliments, it's the gifts, it's the dates that are more attractive. And then by default, eventually well, I might as well have sex because that's the direction we're going in. But it's not even about the sexual act many times.
So there's been possible times that you considered doubling back to an ex. What was the one thing that was pulling you back personally into that old relationship?
Just the vibe.
Loneliness.
Damn.
Loneliness.
Damn.
Just
Yeah, at least she's being honest. At least you're being honest, woman.
the vibe.
I'm just,
the loneliness.
my heart wasn't aching to go back.
I don't get loneliness.
Like, I didn't like miss him that bad, but I was just like, all right, I'm real bored. He not even texting me no more. Like, all right, I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna see what's up.
A lot of
Let me see
times
if he
our
missed-
partners be our best friends. Like we talk every single day, multiple times a day. Like you miss your best friend. So it's not even an issue of that person being the shit, but it's like, damn, like I didn't get a text this morning. Like no one asked me if I ate today. That's what you miss. It's like you miss relationship, not necessarily that person. Like anyone could have been in that slot, but now I don't have nobody who's going to talk to me while I drive home. I don't have anybody to complain about my job to. Like just missing that engagement.
And it's in those moments of missed engagements where women fill it with another man. Yeah? Those text messages, the phone calls, the little cheeky banter and flirting.
Innocent flirting.
That's how it starts. But notice how it's always pushed. That's because the man's not doing something. He's not giving her the extra attention that she may need. And he could be tired. The man could be tired. He could have things going on.
No one cares.
And she could just ask for extra attention. But no, what do some women do? They'll just go bang someone else.
Loneliness.
Because, I don't know, I guess to her that made sense. At least in this moment in time, someone was paying attention to her. Sad.
Everybody needs a friend. I think more that's what it is. Everybody needs a friend. Everybody needs someone to vent to, someone to talk to, someone to, complain to, whatever. And I think that's when you have somebody that's there all day, you guys can, you can complain about everything.
So you ladies never wanted to go back to an ex.
But see, I think I was more busy because I don't even remember like feeling lonely. Like, oh, I want to just talk to somebody because I'm lonely. I'm just like, I can't even really remember ever being like, oh, I'm so lonely, I hate it here. I don't know, like
So my question is,
I just personally can't really.
None of you ever was like,
damn, pure shade, and she's sitting right next to you. Damn.
Loneliness.
Remember ever being like, oh, I'm so lonely, I hate it here.
Loneliness.
In your face, you're lonely, bro.
Hey, maybe I might want to consider giving my ex a second chance or a second stab at it because they were a good person.
I mean, good person doesn't mean good relationship.
Well, they were a good person and maybe you did have a good relationship. I'm just trying to figure out, did you have a good relationship that, met some type of obstacles that, led you to split up, and then maybe you thought about like you should give another stab at it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I told you there's one situation, yeah, but I just,
because you said the vibe, but what is the vibe? Like, what was the vibe that made you say, hey, I should give this another chance?
We had a good mindset together. We both had the same goals, and we felt like we, together we were just like, we complimented each other. Even when we would go outside, we would always get compliments like, oh my God, you guys look great together. Like that shit feels good. You're with someone, you work out together, you have the same goals, you want to go certain places like together, you have a similar mindset. And in a way that makes you be like, yo, I miss that. I miss being with someone that gets me.
Let's start with the ladies. Okay.
We're starting with who?
The ladies.
Wow.
In terms of, delusionality. I just made that word up. It sounds good. Okay.
Delusionality.
It sounds good, right?
Can we get it like a written out right there?
Delusionality. All right, man.
It's not reality.
You gotta put it now.
One of the biggest issues, salary. The expectation that their man or the gentleman that they're dating should be making this six figure number. Okay. Now, we're in the tri-state area, so I understand the desire to want to be with someone who's making six figures because you kind of just need that in order to function, right? But this expectation that that's what someone should be earning in order for them to be worthy of you is impractical, and I'm going to tell you why.
Already we know why. We already know why, don't we? But the inflated ego of modern women will make a lot of them think they can all get a six-figure man. There's not enough of them. And part of the delusionality, as she's saying, is too many women believe a six-figure man would even want them.
Bingo.
They don't seem to think about that.
They could lose their job in any given moment. So if you're giving someone a chance based on how much money that they make, and tomorrow they are unemployed and homeless or whatever it is, then you're now stuck with the dude who's unemployed or homeless because you only messed with him because of how much money he made. Secondly, it's not about how much money you make, it's how you manage it. Somebody could be the top cardiologist at a hospital making $400,000 and they own 10 cars and they have 4 houses that they're underwater and they're paying child support and alimony and they're broke every week. So looking at a specific figure as a measure of whether or not you should date someone is problematic and it's not going to work. So that's one of the biggest issues that I see with the ladies. Secondly, with the ladies, height. In what world does someone's height dictate how well they're going to treat you or how good of a husband or father they're going to be?
I mean, that's never been part of the conversation, especially women talking about it. Women never said a tall man needed to be good to her. He's tall. That's what mattered. And that's why it just seems so shallow. It's like, okay, he could just be anyone so long as he's tall. Yeah, okay.
There's nothing about that man's height that's going to make him a better human being. So, and again, I'm not saying that you should be dating folks who are necessarily like super shorter than you, but you're 5'2" and he has to be 6 feet. Why?
Yeah,
why? It's unreasonable.
It
Even in your tallest heels, he's still going to be taller than you. And I understand generally the idea is the taller the man, the bigger the man, the more likely he is to protect you. It's more animalistic than it is like reality, but still. Impractical. The gentleman. There's this desire to have a woman who has this very particular physique, especially for Black women, right? Usually bigger titties, smaller waist, flat stomach. However, usually the women who look like that are going to have higher expectations than what that man can afford. And it's not nice to say, but if she's getting tons of attention and she's this really beautiful woman with this amazing physique, then that means that usually she's going to date the kinds of guys who do have the 6 figures, who are taller, right? Who are more seemingly attractive. You probably can't afford the.
But you see, a lot of men are honest about that. A lot of men can look at a woman and know, damn, can I afford her? A lot of men are honest about that. A lot of men don't delude themselves. Yes, some men would delete, but whatever. A lot of men aren't deluded enough to believe that they're just going to get this woman who has an incredibly high lifestyle already by herself. A lot of men know, I need to get my money up to even talk to that woman over there. So I get her point, but it does differ for men. For as delusional as men can be, we're far more rational.
The lifestyle that she's going to ask for. So it's unrealistic to have this, I want a woman that has this body, or I want a woman who looks like this. And we're not looking at her personality. We're not looking at her behavior. We're not looking at her traits. And then you're surprised when she's an airhead, or you're surprised when she's, well, that's what you wanted. That's what you got.
And that's the reality of life. Sometimes you just get what you get. Doesn't mean you have to keep what you flipping get though. Focus, observe, remember. The world is yours. Have a nice day.
Loneliness.
Remember ever being like, oh, I'm so lonely, I hate it here.
Loneliness.
No, I don't eat swine.